Well, let me say welcome, one and all. Welcome to our listeners and viewers this morning. You're live here on Classic 105.5 and also via GBN TV. Welcome to the mid-morning buzz. And you know, on Wednesdays, just at 11 a.m., we do entertain the folks down there at the Wireman's house. And we're getting set to head on down to the Wireman's house this morning. Not sure what's going to be featured this morning, but as usual, it's always something good. Let me say good morning to the folks down at the Wireman's house. Good morning to... if you guys are ready for me, if you're ready for me, I'm seeing some plane ring in the background. I'm not sure. Well, welcome. It's been a while, man. How you folks doing this morning?
We are good. We are good.
Right.
We are happy to be back. Good morning to you, GT.
Yes.
Good morning to the viewing public and also the listening public. You know, this morning is all about awareness. You know, we're going to let the general public know what we have available here at the Wireman's house.
All right, great. Well, and you know, let me say good morning to you, lady, and it's Happy International Women's Day to you. Certainly hope you're having an awesome day. Did Chris mention it to you for the morning? Say Happy International Women's Day to you? Sure, you didn't do that, right? You didn't do that.
You know what, GT, let me correct that, right, on behalf of all of us here at the Wireman's house. You know, we want to wish all ladies Happy International Women's Day.
All right, great, man.
Yeah.
I think all the women who are listening right now, they are certainly happy to have heard that you mentioned that. They feel good because I can see the smile. I can see the smile. I can see the smile on her face, which means she's happy to have heard that from you.
Yes,
also.
I am.
All right. So what's in feature this morning? Let's hear what you folks will be featuring for our listening and viewing audience this morning.
Okay, so basically, Gigi, some of the items here is some of the things that we didn't had in the store for a while. A lot of customers has been asking that, hey, bring it back. Yeah. As I always say, so we pay attention to our customers, what they needs, what they're looking for. Yeah. And we just by right, we did that. Yeah. So we have a few things here on the list. All right. So we have our 1 and 2 gang enclosure.
All right.
This is something that people have been asking for a lot of. Really, really a lot of. Yeah, so
could we have a visual of it so folks who've been asking for it? Because sometimes individuals may not hear about certain things of electrical nature, and they say, hey, he's talking about a one, and someone probably told me to pick that up. Maybe an electrician or somebody tell them, hey, pick up a two gang enclosure. What is that exactly? Yeah. If you do have a picture of it, or if you do have the actual, in front of you, maybe you could of course raise your hand and let them have a view of it this morning.
Yes, so I don't have it in front of me, but I can get someone to actually to get it for me.
Okay.
That's no problem.
All right.
Yes, that's no problem. Yeah. So we have that. So as we move along, we can get that. All right. So we also have our neon tester. Right. That is our screwdriver tester. So we have that available as well.
A neon tester.
Yes.
All right.
Right, and also the heavy gauge bending spring, we have it in the 20, 25 mil, and also 32 mm. And most contractors, they normally use this bending spring. We also have the ready-made one, which is the HD bend. So if you don't want to go through the stress of using the bending spring to bend the actual conduit, we have the ready-made one, which we also have it in the 20, the 32 mil, and also 38 mm. Right, so all these items we now have in stock, and we are always happy when we have in stock to let the people know so that they could come and get the items.
All right, great. Love to hear that. So as Chris is getting his stuff together, so that would give us that visual, what are some of the other products that you would like to feature this morning that's available at the Wireman's house that folks could come on down and pick up for, say, if they do want to get their hands on that?
Okay, cables. Cables, we have all our single cables. We have all the base colors. We even have the flex cable, the 2.5 trickle. We have the ECC. We have data cables as well. And these cables, they were highly requested. And as I would have mentioned to you before, it's always a pleasure when we have in stock so that the customer could come and get exactly what they need.
All right. And don't forget, folks, the Wireman's house is located in Woodlands. If you want to head on down, for those of you who are probably listening and asking, where's the Wireman's house? Now, I'm going to give you folks an option to remind the folks about that, because sometimes location could be a problem for individuals. Probably someone is driving right now, listening to you this morning, and they're talking about the Wireman's house. and maybe they have never been to your location before. Give them some information on that before we start featuring anything more.
Yes. Okay, so we are located in Woodlands in St. George's. Okay, if you're coming from the, let's say, the Grand Dance end, okay, everybody know it's right after the head off to get into Classical Bay Marina, right? Is that piece of stretch right there? You can't miss this. It's a wonderful building. Yeah. It marks, it's very branded, so you can pass it. You really can't pass us. It marks the Wireman's house, right in front of it. If you come and say, let's say from St. David's end, and you come into towards like the class code factory, you pass in the class code factory, and you're entering. It's right after you enter the Woburn Junction.
Great.
Yeah, so it's right after the Woburn Junction. Everybody does know about the bumpy corner. It's right after the bumpy corner. So once you reach the bumpy corner, it's right on that stretch there. We are located. As I said, you can't miss us.
You can't miss it. All right. Great description.
Also, Gigi, so this is basically the enclosure.
Yes.
All right. This is a weatherproof enclosure. Now we have it in the double and also the single as well.
Okay.
Right. You can place your single outlet. You can place your switch in this enclosure, right? And the thing about this enclosure now, if something goes wrong with the switch or your outlet, all you have to do is just remove that particular item. You don't have to remove the box or anything. There's the switch or the outlet.
All right. And that is certainly great for individuals who are thinking about having an electrical outlet on the outdoors of their house. Certainly that is appropriate for that. All right.
Yes,
it is.
And also we have our weatherproof boxes as well. Yeah, this is our junction boxes. So we have that available. We have it in different sizes. And one of the most popular size GT, right, is our 4x4 boxes. Right, so this is basically used for our computer uses or our camera uses as well. Yeah, so the guys who doing your camera system, right, if you're looking for your 4x4 boxes, we have that available.
Okay, great.
Yes. Right, so as early as well, GT, we would have talking about our testers.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is our screwdriver testers for all the viewers. Yeah, so it basically look like an ordinary screwdriver. Yeah, so you can use it as a screwdriver as well, but not for really heavy use.
Let me see if I could put you on the spot. What's the voltage range?
Alright, so the voltage range is from 100 to 230.
I was just playing with you. I know you know that because I was just playing with you this morning.
From 100 to 230 volts.
All right, great.
You can use it for anything higher than that.
All right.
Yeah, and also on it there's also the voltage rating on it as well. Yeah, so we have that available. All right, so Ms. Duncan, what else we have today?
We also have the 6U cabinet, and that is normally used for data use, and that was also highly requested. So for those of you who normally deal with data stuff, computer and all that, you could come by the Wireman's house and check for your 6U cabinet.
Okay.
Right. We also have the meter centers. We don't have them in store, but I guarantee you by tomorrow, we'll be having store. So feel free. Guys, listen, feel free to come in store if you want to place your order to make sure that you are safe to have your meter center. You could come and make your payment, hold your receipt, and come back tomorrow and get your meter center. Because listen, I'm telling you, GT, these meter centers, they go quickly. And we're having them the 2-way, the 3-way, and also the 4-way. And a lot of construction is going on, apartments and stuff like that.
Because I was just about to ask you this, what are the bays that you're having, if it's 1-way, 2-way, 3 or 4? And you said you will be having from 1 all the way up to 4.
Up to 4,
great.
Up to 4.
Yes, and also to add it about basically GT, as soon as I'm finished with this program, I'm heading down to the port right now to make sure that we have that particular item in the store, right? And also, if you want your meter center constructed in a certain way, right, that you can also have the single phase as well with a 3-phase built in. Yeah, we do that as well. We do that special order.
Okay,
so basically,
great.
what you have to do, you have to come into the Wireman's house, get a form for your electrician, right, to fill out, bring it back to us, and we will basically take it from there, with the 1, 2, 3, with the supplier, bringing it here, clearing it as well, right? We do all that. All you have to do, right, is come for that form for your electrician to fill out, and we will take it from there.
What is that? What are some of the time factors that you offer in terms of orders?
In orders, basically, if let's say if you're doing the like for the meter centers, right? As I said, that will be basically a special order, right? So some people might want to have a based on how they cut the wall, the angle, the measurement that I mentioned, and also if you want a single phase, if you want 2 single phase with 3 phase, it's all about what project you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, what project you're doing. So we will actually give you that form to give us back that information, right? And we will do that special order for you.
My question was more lining along the line of when time factor. When I say time factor, I mean when I make an order at the Wireman's house, could I get it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 days?
3 weeks.
3 weeks max. 3 weeks maximum.
Delay, we'll go over, but 3 weeks.
3 weeks max. Okay, great. All right.
But as well, we try to put a rush on everything, on our shipments, especially with the special orders, right? So we will give you the option of how you want it coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We will give you that option.
All right, great. And anything else we want to feature this morning before we take a wrap for today?
Well, as I said, we just want to tell let everybody know it's always a pleasure of our customers, coming into the Wireman's house. The feedback it's always important, right? It's always good to how that we improve our service, our information that's going out. It's always good to know. I know we want to hear more from the customers, the listeners, the viewers. Give us a call. That number to do that is 443-5577 or 449-5577. And let's work with you. Yeah, let's work with you of making sure you get the wonderful service and the good quality of items that we have to offer right here at the Wireman's house.
All right.
Right, DP. And I just want to say this program was mainly about awareness, and I'm just going to give a slight recap of items that we have in stock. So for those of you who've been looking for your empty enclosures, 1 and 2 gang, you can come to the Wireman's house and get that. We also have the small and large neon testers. If you're looking for your bending spring, we have it in the 20 mm, 25 mm, and also the 32 mm, sorry. If you're looking for your HB bends, we have it also 20 mm, 32, and also 38. Your junction boxes, different sizes. You can come on down to the Wireman's house and get it. Also the trunking, 16 by 25, 25 by 38, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 3, and also 4 by 4. And cables, we have all cables in stock. So for the listening and the viewing public, if you're looking for a cable, it's the place to be at the Wireman's house. Your meter center, as I would have mentioned, they're on the ports. So by tomorrow, if you want to come and place your order, pay, no problem. Hold on to your receipt. You come the next day and you collect it. Also, for those of you who are dealing with data, we have the 6U cabinet. So we have all these items here. So make your way to the Wireman's house and purchase your item. Right? And thank you for having us, Joseph. Sorry, GT, my apology.
No problem.
Yes. Our opening hours from Monday to Thursday, we are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's always a pleasure to come on board just to inform the general public as to what you can get here at the Wireman's house. And of course, GT, at the Wireman's house, I always say from the time you hear the word the Wireman's house, the first thing that comes to mind is quality products, right? And of course, we're not just having quality products, our products are at affordable cost, right? So make your way to the Wireman's house. It's always a pleasure. Friendly staff is always here to await you.
Definitely.
So head to the Wireman's house.
And come and discover the difference. Something for everyone.
All right. Certainly a pleasure to have you all as always. They were sharing all the information about all the products and the services that you offer. Also, we do this again next week. Have yourself a great day. Absolutely. And once again, to the lovely lady, happy International Women's Day to you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Vicky.
All right.
And all the women who is tuned in, happy International Women's Day.
I certainly will appreciate that. Have yourself a good one.
Bye. Same to yourself.
It's K105.5, K105.9, and GBN TV. It's a mid-morning buzz. We are talking to the folks down at the Wireman's house. We do have another guest popping in with us this morning. Just let's have a little bit of chit-chat. Let me just make that connection, and we're coming right back. Stay with us. We'll be back with you shortly. Stay with us right here.
Karate James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as second schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Karate James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, get going, Dasani Water and Power Aid, and the National Lotteries Authority.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. It's the mid-morning buzz here on Classic 105.5 and GBN TV. Did promise you're gonna have another guest. Can I call him a guest? Or is it somebody of a regular nature here on GBN? Let me say good morning to you, sir. I don't think no introduction is actually needed, but nevertheless, let me say good morning to you. How are you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. Godfrey, welcome. It's not usually we'll see you this time of the day, but so when you're popping around this time of the morning, it's always good news or good tidings you're probably going to be bringing to the viewing and listening audience this morning. But we're talking about tonight's program of climate. Give me up with the name of the program again.
Our climate reality.
Climate reality, and. Today being International Women's Day, there's something special that's going to be offered tonight. And of course, I'm going to give you the option of sharing that information with the viewing and listening public, especially the ladies. You should be out listening. And we also encourage the gentlemen to tune in also, because there's probably something there that's going to grab their interest as always. Godfrey, the floor is yours, man. Go right ahead and tell us what's up tonight.
Yeah, thank you, GT. Well, every Wednesday for the past month, we've been doing this new program. We started our climate reality. With the intent of raising more awareness on the issue of climate change, because climate change is a very, very, very important issue. And of course, it affects everyone in different ways, and in some cases, even more severe than others. So we've been talking about that. However, we have been promoting a program for tonight as it relates to climate change and water. But we had to make a little adjustment and push that program back 1 week because, International Women's Day today coincides with the program. And so we felt it was very appropriate to do a program along those lines. So tonight, we will be looking at climate change, of course, but with an angle as it relates to women, gender inequality, and climate change, and the role women can play, and how, in turn, climate change can affect women, because it can in a very serious way. We have a panel, 3 very, very special guests that will be joining us. In fact, we have the minister in the Prime Minister's ministry in Barbados, Minister Chantal Munro-Knight. She will be joining us to speak on women and climate change, and also to share with us some information on the Bridgetown initiative, a very, very important initiative as it relates to climate change and so on. So we encourage people to tune in. Also joining us will be the president of our Senate, Dr. Decima Williams. She will be joining us as well, speaking on the role of women in climate change, and of course, how climate change can affect our women. and of course, a champion for women's equality and women's right here in Grenada, Mrs. Elaine Henry McQueen. So we have three distinguished women, and may I add, Glenn, all of these women were born in Grenada.
Interesting.
The minister in
Interesting.
Barbados. Yes,
Interesting.
yes.
Interesting.
In fact, only this morning I learned that she's Grenadian by birth, Mrs. Chantal Monroe Knight. So she's the minister in the Prime Minister's ministry in Barbados. So she's joining us. And so we are looking forward to a wonderful program this evening. We're encouraging all our women to, join us. It's at 8:30 on all our platforms, on GBN Television, K105 Radio, on our Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. So we want all our women to join, and the men too, because we have to support our women. And they play a very, very significant role. And so we want to expose more of the role that our women can play as it relates in our fight against climate change and global warming. And of course, it's important that they understand how this whole climate change issue can affect them. So this is what is happening tonight, Glenn.
All right. Because, Godfrey, sometimes we may think that, climate change is something that affects a certain type of individual, you understand? But sometimes we don't look at it in a broad base where women place a particular strong focus into it also in terms of how it affects them as females in the world today. And so this evening's program, the guests that you're going to be having, they will share some important information on what the difference, being female in the world today and how the part they will play to help, of course. It may not be able to see, but maybe to change the way we view things, especially when it comes to climate change.
Of course, and Glenn, not just view, but in our actions, because a lot of things we do, it plays a significant role in global warming, so, and it is referred to as anthropogenic, climate change. That is change that is brought about by human actions. Mm-hmm. So it's important that we understand these things. We don't realize when we burn a lot of stuff and all the toxic fumes goes into the atmosphere, it contributes to global warming because, these greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, they trap heat. And that's why we find sometimes and we complain that, it's getting so hot and it's getting hotter, and the place is so dry. And we're not stopping to think about maybe how are we as a people contributing mm-hmm. to that. And if we change some of our actions and the way we do things, we can save the earth. And I'm talking here Grenada. So, bearing the fact that we're a small island and maybe our carbon footprint is a little small, but when the more developed countries, the actions they take, the industries, all of that.
That sort of trickle-down effect.
It does.
Exactly.
It does in a very significant way. So we have our role to play. There are those among us who probably don't believe in climate change. Well, I'll tell you this, climate change is also a naturally occurring thing. But our actions have helped to speed up global warming, which has brought about the changes. And so it's important. Take a look at our rivers. Glenn, I'm sure you can recall the days when the river by River Road there had a lot more water, and you probably used to go and hold a little crayfish and bathe and have fun.
Exactly. I could have bathed right.
Do that.
I could have bathed right in front of my house from those times. I could have done that. You understand? Being young, being a young individual. Now you think about climate change also, Godfrey, is affecting our health. Not only the atmosphere out there, but climate change is also trickling down to our health also.
Well, I'll tell you, Glenn, in 2 weeks, this is what we'll be talking about, climate change and health. So next week, we would look at climate change and how it affects water, because that is a very important thing. It can affect our water that we consume, And there's so much to learn and to understand. And if we understand that, we would know and we would be able to play a better role in our fight against global warming. So there's so much that climate change affects. Our economic sector. Climate change can affect tourism. Climate change can affect agriculture. We looked at that last week. It can affect our health, as you said, and so much, our infrastructure. Climate change can affect almost every aspect of our lives. We just need to pay attention, understand it, get the information. And of course, the GBN is has made that platform available. We have a lot of people who are so excited about coming onto the program and sharing the information. Glenn, funny, I never realized we had so much resourceful people in Grenada.
I know.
That was versed on the issue of climate change. And by extension, the Caribbean. So there's a lot of information out there, and we still have a lot of people that we will be bringing onto the program that can talk to us about, different aspects, So we want to encourage people to tune in tonight and every Wednesday night at 8:30 for our climate reality. As I said, tonight we're looking at the gender equality and climate change. Minister Chantal Monroe-Knight from Barbados. She is the minister in the Prime Minister's Ministry in Barbados. She will be joining us. Dr. Decima Williams, who is the president of the Senate in Grenada, and also Mrs. Elaine Henry McQueen. So we are going to have a good time this evening, sharing information and, playing our part in ensuring that we understand what needs to be done in our fight against global warming.
All right. And Godfrey, the key factor here is educating folks about climate change. The folks being educated about it. And once we continue to educate folks about climate change, they are going to make some difference. Because sometimes the key thing there is some folks not knowing what they are doing is causing the problems. You understand? We as our individuals, what we do is the things that we do not making that's causing the problems. And if we cease it, we can see a difference being made. Godfrey, I want to thank you once again for popping and sharing information. And certainly all the folks will be tuned in tonight. Now that they know what is going to be up tonight, they will certainly be tuned in and certainly be informed about, of course, all the great things that happens on that particular program tonight. Thanks once again for being here.
Thank you very much, Glen. All the best.
All right, man. Take it easy. Blessings going out to you. That was Godfrey. So get ready for the program is on tonight, folks, and it's on here on Classic 105 and also on GBN TV. That's where we say goodbye for those of you who are viewing the mid-morning buzz. Thanks for being with us. Until we have a next chat again, have yourself a lovely, lovely day.